Happy Kanpai to you all. Bon nuit. Kanpai to you all. Sorry, that's a Futurama reference? Yeah, Futurama reference. Anyway, hi everyone. Welcome to Kanpai Cast episode 203, where we're talking about the character in the fridge eventually. But first, we're putting that topic into the fridge so that we can go through the housekeeping. It's the typical stuff, like, comment, subscribe, please. The YouTube algorithm is a mystery unto men, but we hope that through this arcane ritual, we can boost ourselves in the algorithm at some point. Also, share it with your friends. There's an audio version available, including Spotify, if you follow the links in the description below. We also have, also down in those links, we've got our Discords, Patreon, streaming, all that good stuff. Xeno has a YouTube channel, I have a YouTube channel, we all, Thaylien is Thaylien. He has a cat.
Which I shall endeavour to show off during the episode.
Yes, the fourth member of Kanpai Cast. I think that basically covers it. Yeah, should we speed on quickly and rescue that poor topic from being cold? If it's cold, if you're cold, it's cold. Let your topic inside. Oh, there she is. So this is yet another one that Thaylien has come up with because he is our idea man, let's face it. But everyone knows the trope of the character in the fridge. At least everyone should know the trope of the character in the fridge.
I think on a subconscious level they do, at least. Whether or not they actually know it by name is another thing entirely.
Yeah. It has its history dating back years to the comic book industry. The most famous one was Green Lantern's wife? Yes.
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend, who was literally found in a fridge and became murdered, yeah, and became the motivation for him to
Guy Gardner, I believe.
I think it was Guy.
Oh,
yeah,
no, it's Carl Rayner.
No?
Carl Rayner.
Yes. But it's clearly not exclusive to that. There was a guy when the term was first coined. It came with a whole list of examples of it. We're not exactly doing the girlfriend in the fridge. It's close. It's more of motivating deaths that happened especially early on or without much preamble per se. Although there are a few that in here that don't fit that either. Anything else you want to add about it, Thaylien, or shall we?
Oh. I was going to say, because just checked Carl Rayner's backstory. I believe it actually happened to him twice.
Oh, jeez.
Probably. How often they recycle the plot in comics is
no. It was an intentional redo to try and stop him from becoming more powerful. They tried to actually break him by doing it to him again.
Oh, Lord.
It didn't work the first fucking time. Like, how the fuck was it going to work?
Trauma. They're hoping to hit his PTSD.
Powerful thing, trauma. So, we're going to try and be a bit more organised about this Xeno special request. So, who wants to lead off on this one?
Well, actually, I guess Xeno, do you want to explain how we're framing this episode?
Sure, as long as we've actually agreed to it, because we didn't actually get to that before we started talking about last week's episode.
I think we agreed to it. I think we basically agreed to it.
Okay, so what we're going to try and do this week is have one of us be the for of the narrative device, one of us being the against the narrative device, and then the third person... they can chime in as and when they want, right? I am more than happy to fill the role of the against if people think that they would struggle with that.
Yeah, I think since Thaylien picked the topic, he should be pro, you should be against, and since I am an agent of chaos, I should be in the middle.
I was actually going to argue against in many cases.
Oh, well.
Okay, do you want me to argue for instead then?
So no, I'll argue for. because
cool.
as I said, it was my topic idea, so I might as well take the positive view all the way through.
Okay.
I mean, if we come up on one that you are con on, I think it's fair to say so. Mm-hmm. And if Xeno comes up on one that he's pro on, it's fair for him to say so as well.
Yeah.
I will say that even though I am fighting for the against, I hate that. Even though I am driving the against on this narrative device, genuinely, I am okay with it, right? There are very, very few times when I think it is badly implemented, to the point of, lol, what the fuck. One of my favorite series turns out is really good fodder for me, but that's besides the point, you know? Anyway, Thaylien, because this was your topic, I am more than happy for you to start.
Okay then. So I'm going to start strong, and I'm going to go. Where's the this week? I'm going to go with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Ooh, a strong contender.
So hopefully that changes. Hopefully this.
There it goes.
It's done it. Hopefully nobody else pressed that to cover for me not being able to press buttons again.
May have.
So on the loud engines outside.
Very good point. Sorry.
On the
you didn't raise your hand.
This one I want to argue the positive for this one because the core premise of the call to the call to adventure they have, the driving force. Sorry, I've got
that car kicked up some dust, and so now he's choking. No.
Sorry, something in my throat. Right. So the core premise of this one is
you want to take a moment?
Not just the.
You want to take a moment?
No, it should be good for now.
Okay.
The core premise for this one is not just that the character's mother died, but it's also that they have a constant and compelling reminder in the form of Ed's body in the fridge, Al's body in the fridge and Ed's arm in the fridge.
Mm.
At all times, they have got the loss physically carried with them to motivate them. And even though the original goal of their thing to bring their mother back is never succeeded with, it carries through as a plot thread all the way to the very end of the series, where having to undo something they've done is the solution to their current problem. As a plot device, it is used as both the start and end of the story.
Okay, that's fair and valid. However, is it really the same narrative device? I mean, I would argue maybe yes with the mum, but is it the same narrative device for Edward and Elric? Edward and Elric? Jesus Christ. Edward and Alphonse, when they're both alive and kicking. The whole point is the murder of a character that is done in such a brutal way to motivate another character to do it. Their whole existence is to die.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes. Their whole existence is to die to motivate the characters. That's their mother. Right? And it is the motivating power behind that. They're their first action. And it causes every other event. So, in terms of this, do you think that anything else would have motivated the children to use alchemy in the way they did? Do you think that anything else would have resulted in the same costs that it did in this show?
I don't think
because the basic rule
denying that. I think he's denying the extension to is Alphonse also a character in the fridge? Or can you separate Alphonse the character from Alphonse the body in that way?
Well, clearly, because they did. They separated his body.
And that in part is the argument.
But metaphorically, it literally Not literally, but in a literature fashion.
In this particular case, I would argue they can, because, and this is, should we stick on spoilers for the end of Fullmetal Alchemist, or is this a classic show that people should have watched?
Should have watched it by now.
They should have watched it by now.
Yeah, because the solution to their problems restores Alphonse's body. The end thing of undoing the alchemy that he originally did to gain the knowledge that gave him gave Edward his abilities. It undoing that is what returned his body. Is actually solved that problem. Nasuth, you wanted to go,
but to play devil's advocate here for Xeno again, obviously, isn't part of the point that the character that is in the fridge has no interaction with the story at large. Alphonse's body isn't a character; it is an object. The actual character is still with Edward on these adventures, doing things, making the story happen. Correct.
But I didn't say it was specifically that this was the driving force. It's the reminder. It's the constant reminder that this was caused by their own hubris.
That actually does clarify.
And as a direct result. Okay, so you know.
I feel that a better character to choose from when it comes to Fullmetal Alchemist is Nina Tucker, right? Nina Tucker, who was sacrificed not only by her father, but also by Scar. That was a huge motivating factor for Ed and Al to get on the major journey of all of this. Yes, it wasn't the starting point, but it was a huge catalyst as to motivation for them to do things, right? However,
yes,
if you're okay with it, I would like to pivot.
Sure.
Same show or different show?
Just saying,
different show.
Do you think so? Whether we are for or against narrative device, do you believe it's done well in Fullmetal Alchemist?
Certainly in the case of Nina Tucker, but not Trisha Elric. And this, my next example is a clear example of to why I do not think this, right?
Okay. Lead away.
And this is one of the very few instances I have tried to bring it up, and that is the Guyver, right? Fumio Fukamachi, right, is Sho's dad. And that is it. That is his entire existence. He does not exist beyond being Sho's dad. And as such, you get this understanding, and okay, yeah, he means a lot to Sho, but he means nothing to the audience. Nina Tucker in Fullmetal Alchemist meant hell of a lot to the audience because you saw Ed and Al play with Nina, and I cannot remember the name of the dog, right? But for Fumio, you don't know what his occupation is, huh?
Bondo, the dog from
Spy Family, yeah. With Fumio, you don't know what his occupation is, right? You don't know how long he's been a single dad. You don't know how often he has to work away from home. You don't know anything about Fumio, right? Apart from he is Sho's dad, right?
Yes.
And even though his death was brutal and a huge motivating factor in what Sho ultimately ends up doing, it is just a case of, but like this would have meant so much more if it was Tetsuo or Mizuki. Nasuth.
So while you're not wrong, and while I will say this is probably a narrative lazy shortcut, do you have to know everything about Sho? Sho's father, Fumio? Is that his name?
Fumio.
Yeah, I'm bad with names. So that's not a slight against the show. But do you need to know much more given the fact that most people can empathize with their own feelings for their parents, if they have good feelings for their parents, or have good parents to have feelings for, it's a narrative shortcut. It's a cheap device to hit that part of our shared experience without having to actually flesh out the character.
Do you want me to reply first, or do you want Thaylien to interject?
I guess it depends on if Thaylien has something to add to what I said. If he doesn't, then I would say you first.
I think Thaylien does. Go for Thaylien.
Thaylien, go for it.
Okay. So, okay. This is going to be mean, because what Xeno's referring to, the thing he actually likes more, is the similar but slightly distinct trope of the beautiful corpse.
What's that? Which
is like the girlfriend in the fridge, but you have time to get to know and relate to the character first. And they remain dead still as a symbol for the character. It's the same meaning for the main character going forward, but it's distinguished by the fact that they were a character first. Yeah. So the whole idea of the girlfriend in the fridge is you don't have to know the character beforehand. You just have to know that they meant that to the main character. And that's why many people don't like the girlfriend in the fridge trope. They think it's used badly because they don't get to know the character first.
For Carl, you didn't know his girlfriend, but you knew how you would feel if your girlfriend was in the fridge.
Yes. It would be the difference in this sense between somebody like Fumio and Gwen Stacy of Spider-Man fame, because you knew the character beforehand. But yeah, what do you want to reply with that?
So what you've just finalized with is actually a really good example. Like the whole idea of the criticism that carries on to the girlfriend in the fridge is the fact that these characters exist solely to die and further the narrative progression of the main character. Fumio Fukamachi's whole existence was to die just so show could progress, to develop.
Yeah.
And that is awful as a narrative device because it's lazy. It's terrible. Put some fucking effort into it.
Yeah. And that's why there's a distinction between these two tropes and why people prefer the beautiful corpse more. Mm-hmm. So you're not wrong to call this out on this one. But here's a question: are you absolutely sure there is, even though you don't find anything about Fumio, there's no interaction between him and Sho that you can relate to at all?
Only on a cursory surface level. It's just like,
yes,
it's my dad, but it's.
So if you were one of Sho's friends, would you have any other insight into him unless you were asked those questions of what does he do for work? Unless you actually asked this question yourself and you were an outsider looking into his life from a personal basis, would you know? Would you see anything more than the audience saw?
Sorry, to reiterate your question, you're
asking
if I would see so much more. I would actually bloody know what his job is, right? I know what
unless you asked, unless you've been told, would you?
Yeah, but I know what the occupations are of most of my most parents of my friends, right?
Yes,
the people I grew up with. No, it's just
no.
Yeah, I was told because I grew up with them, sort of thing.
I'm with Xeno on this one. My best friend that I've known since I was 4, I never had to ask what his dad or mom did. I found out just because we spent so much time together.
So wouldn't it have been weird to have them discuss it for the audience, purely for the audience? So, oh yeah, remember that time? Remember your dad working for that company?
Okay, I will concede, right, that I hate it when people are referred to by name nearly constantly, as opposed to it's a perfect example.
I never call my brother bro. I always I hardly ever call him by his name either, unless I'm talking about him to other people.
Yeah,
It's just like, hey man.
you know, the language used in narratives is very structured to the point of unnatural, so that you can follow what's going on, right? Yeah. I understand and appreciate that, but that kind of feels like we're subverting my argument of
do you remember
Fumio Fukumachi being an underdeveloped character is a bad thing.
So just to point out that there's also the fact that in Japanese there is no personal pronouns in that respect. So
that's true. They always call each other brother.
They refer to themselves by name and by title. So there is that. So that coming across on the translations and the dubbing might have come across more formal because that's what they actually said. So just bear with that one. Okay. So my point is that him being underdeveloped as a character doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing, because in many ways you might not know these things about the character. See?
Okay.
Yeah, just because it's a short, we come back to the old Kanpai Cast tagline. If it's fine if it's done right. Just because it's a shortcut or a cliche doesn't immediately make it bad. It's if the rest of the story is so bare bones that that's all they have are shortcuts and cliches. It's still not necessarily satisfying as a deeper, longer, more intense narrative could be, but especially in something like a TV show, certain allowances have to be made for runtime and whatnot.
Yes. So I know I'm interrupting Xeno a little bit. So to Xeno's point, so even if you don't have that larger development, a few scenes with meaning can do that instead. People like movies like How to Train Your Dragon, not because someone like Stoic the Vast is often portrayed very one note, but there are some meaningful scenes where he's like the time he says, "You're not my son," and he stops, and you can see that hit him in the animation. Or when he actually manages to pull Hiccup and Toothless out of the water, and he actually takes the time, it's a very small amount of time, to apologize for everything. And
you know what's a good example
say
of a
that
few
to his son.
Meaningful scenes?
So then, what you got?
Cyberpunk Edgerunners. With
Very
David's
much
mother.
So.
She does not have much screen time at all before she's unceremoniously removed from the narrative. But those scenes that she does have, because you know how you'd feel about your own mother, and because we see how David feels about her, and because we see these few scenes with her death has a lot of meaning, and the way that David handles it afterwards has a lot of meaning to the rest of the story. Yes, you know.
What's her name?
Oh, fuck, it's Rebecca. No, is it Rebecca?
No.
I'm terrible with names. I already told you I'm terrible with names.
He is terrible with names. Oh god, it
starts with an R, I'm sure.
Well, it's only mentioned by Dutch the once.
Dutch?
No, not Dutch. We're talking. It's the same character type. When I was thinking of Dutch, Dutch is
Gloria. It's Gloria. It's fucking Gloria.
Yes. You got it.
Yeah,
see, I got there eventually.
It's only mentioned by the team once when they talk. So how do you get? This is Gloria's thing. Why did you? Why do you have it? That kind of thing.
But all the memes, Thaylien. All the memes. Sorry, I'm joking.
Well, no, it's a really good meme, but it is actually mentioned, and it is, and she is a very meaningful character in that respect.
Do we want to stick with Cyberpunk Edgerunners?
Yeah, why not? Let's carry on with that, because Guyver, I actually will concede you on that one. I don't think he has enough. I don't think the Fumio has enough scenes to make him mean something to the audience to turn it into the.
I think
corpse.
Show's reactions help fill in those gaps.
Yeah,
true, but I will also add in that the 2005, edition of the Guyver actually added in so much more Fumio than was in the original.
That's probably one of the ones I'm thinking of then.
he dies. The next episode he appears in.
Oh Lord!
It's just like, wow. Yeah, in like the manga and the original, it's very quick and over. Anyway,
sorry, I thought you were talking about the 2005 one. That's kind of part of why I was confused.
No, I was.
Oh, okay, all right.
I was. But I'm just saying it's worse in the original and the source material.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Right. So Cyberpunk.
Let's say Cyberpunk. I like this one because it has both the character in the fridge and the beautiful corpse. Because David moves from one tragedy to another. Yes. Well, in the start of the show, there's just the one. There's Gloria. There's his mother, and then he has to move on. But then, as the season progresses, there's like the halfway point where members of the team start to die. You know, first it's Rebecca's brother. Followed by the other, by the two big hitters, as you know, cyberpsychosis, which is a really, really bad way to go in Cyberpunk. It's these experiences that really changed him and drove him into this mentality that he was supposed to be built different, you know, and able to cope with things that others couldn't. And as time goes on, it's just more. It's more and more. What do you think, Xeno?
Okay. So I will concede that Gloria is a girlfriend in the fridge, or a mum in the fridge in this instance.
Character.
Right?
In the fridge.
A character in the fridge. But to illustrate my point further, we actually knew what Gloria's occupation was. She worked at the medevac for moving corpses to the morgue, right? That we knew, and we knew that she was a front runner for stealing cybernetic implants to go to the black market. Yeah. So we knew more about her, so it kind of pushed her more into the beautiful corpse territory. But I still don't think there's enough there to say beautiful corpse. However, the fact that you can't actually remember what the team members' names are would push them more to me.
No, that's just mine and Nasuth's shittiness with names. Yeah. It's Main and Dorio are the
okay.
Main's the big guy, Dorio's his girlfriend, and
Pilaf.
That's the one. It's Rebecca.
I'm not gonna lie, that literally just popped into my head the second I said it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that's it. We're not the best with names.
I would argue that Pilav, Main, and Doria are girlfriends in the fridge. All three of them, right?
Really?
But, yes, Rebecca is 100% a beautiful corpse, right?
No, actually, I don't agree with that.
Go on then.
Because it happens at the end. It's the climax.
Ah, that is a fair point. If it does happen too close to the end, can you? That's like there was another one that I rejected because of that too. I can't remember what it was though.
Because it doesn't change anybody's point of view in that moment, apart from Lucy's when she survives it, and we don't see enough of Lucy's story after that to witness what it changed. The other people in that scene are traumatized by, but largely don't survive.
And largely going to do what they were going to do anyway. Or largely doing what they were going to do anyway.
Yes. Exactly. It's in the process of it. The same thing with Kiwi. When she dies, she's not a beautiful corpse because she's just going out the way she intended and through her own consequences, and everybody carries on with the mission they're on.
Okay. I rescind my statement about Rebecca.
Yeah. It's a tragedy. And I definitely don't have the coaster.
Oh my god.
With the Adam Smasher mark. But
I forgot about that.
That's the consequence of merchandising. No,
So you would
sorry.
you would say that Gloria's not a beautiful corpse, even though we get some
No,
really
but
good,
she is a lot closer. She is a lot closer
okay.
to being. But like, I mean, we still don't know a great deal about her, and she dies in episode 1, right?
That's
It's not like, you know.
And David does literally drag around her ashes, doesn't he? That canister of her ashes is there even when he's living in that apartment, upscale apartment.
The big one.
Of,
the high.
Yeah, with Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does ring a bell. So I still say she's girlfriend in the fridge material, but like she could. There was plenty of potential for her to be a beautiful corpse.
Beautiful corpse, yes.
Okay. If she'd lasted like another episode or two, maybe.
Yeah, I mean it was a short series anyway, so.
Yeah.
Thaylien.
But so I do believe that at the very least, Maine is a beautiful corpse because he had a huge impact in training David, in moving through. He died in a tragic fashion that David was there to witness, and it changed him going forward. David basically became the better Maine by learning from him and then upgrading himself using the things that would work with his Sandevistan. So he became that person in the group so that the group could continue. You know, I think David followed in Maine's footsteps specifically because of it.
That is Sandevistan.
Sandevistan.
He said Sandevistan, not Sandevistan.
He said Sandevistan. No, he said Sandevistan, didn't he? I swear. Anyway, we're getting on topic.
No, I definitely did not.
I want to drive
Let's move on. Yep.
Right.
Go for it.
Okay. I think this is a relatively good example. And I'm going to say Goblin Slayer. With Goblin Slayer's older sister.
Yeah.
Literally does not have a name.
Yes,
And
yes, we tried to find her name.
Her name is Goblin Slayer's older sister. His entire motivation for being the murderous, goblin bloodthirsty monster that he is the death and destruction of his home, along with effectively what happened to his sister while he was hiding under the floorboards. And and she doesn't have a name.
No. Question. What are the other girls' names?
Farm
Priestess. Girl. Yeah.
Farm girl, priestess, elf girl,
sword maiden.
Girl. Oh shit! I think he's actually genuinely got me here. I didn't bloody think about the other characters. Solid. None of them have names. Oh my god! It's like receptionists.
They're all just named by their job.
Yes. There's even there's a shaman and dwarf priest.
Is this a subtle way of telling us that Goblin Slayer doesn't care about their names? He doesn't have capacity to care about their names?
Maybe. Or maybe that he's lost... Yeah, maybe he's lost something and the title is more important. So he is Goblin Slayer because that is what he does.
She is priestess because that is what she does.
Yeah. Yes.
I disagree
and they're embodying
because from the initial narrative point of view, it was a story being told from priestess, or a priestess's point of view. And I cannot remember if the team that she originally joined actually introduced themselves with actual names.
I can check that while we're going.
My sense is that they didn't.
But still, I still argue. I'm pretty sure Priestess has never said her name ever.
Yeah,
I'm very sure she hasn't.
But this doesn't really stop the important thing, which is his older sister is a fridged character, right?
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yep.
I mean, I think we only
me
even
just look
see
this
her
up.
once in a flashback.
Yep. Well, technically twice.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would argue that Farm Girl fits the same sort of role now, but we know her a lot better. So if she were to die, she would become a beautiful corpse instead.
I would agree with that. Especially with the whole relationship between... Actually, I will highlight the manga does it better because Season 2 skipped so much of the plot.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Goblin Slayer Abridged actually touches upon that. But one of the points is that, you see the relationship between Farm Girl and the receptionist. You see the relationship between Farm Girl and the priestess. Right? You get to see them communicate with each other.
So, just before you speak, Nasuth,
Yes.
I just checked. No, the people that die at the beginning of Goblin Slayer do not introduce themselves by name.
Right.
Fair enough.
So the question I was going to ask was related to that. Do you think those other characters that die at the beginning are also fridged characters for Priestess as opposed to for Goblin Slayer?
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they're her motivation to go out and
Oh my god! It's the
Speak of the
sister!
devil.
It's the sister right there!
Yep, on screen for people who are
the tall,
doing
it's
the
the
audio
tall
version.
one, not the short one.
Yeah.
The short one is Farm Girl.
Farm
The
Girl.
farm girl, yes.
Yeah.
And the one we can't
And look,
see
she has the hairstyle. She has
She does.
the hairstyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on to another show? Or do you want to keep talking about Goblin Slayer?
I don't know if there's a lot more to say about... Yeah, Thaylien?
No, only that. Do you think this is used correctly for this one?
No.
Well, correctly in terms of...
Incorrectly in terms of providing character motivation to give this a personality that the audience can understand.
To me, it is completely undercutting the fact that Goblin Slayer's entire motivation is the fact that his sister was brutally murdered above him as he was hiding, trying to survive the Goblin onslaught, and she doesn't even have a bloody name. Right?
Yeah, but
I would
again,
be with
neither
you
does
if
anyone
any of
else.
the other characters had names.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. However, I do not feel that it is a blocker for me, because it is just a simple case of like, why are none of these characters like properly developed? Like, we know more about Shaman, or Lizard Shaman, or Lizard Man, or whatever the fuck he's called.
Lizard Man Shaman, yes.
Yeah, because, he likes cheese, and, the Abridged loves to ham that up. We know more about the dwarf with his alcohol. We know Elf with her pride and stuff like that. But we know next to nothing about Goblin Slayer's entire motivation.
Yeah, I would argue that Priestess actually has more... The characters that died in front of Priestess have more of an impact than Goblin Slayer's sister. Because we actually see her witness it and see how it traumatizes her.
But at the same time, like with Goblin Slayer, it's supposed to be the entirety
His motivating
of the foundation.
factor, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. Anyway.
Whereas Priestess has things besides just wanting to kill goblins.
This is character in the fridge by proxy, almost. Right? So, the fact that we see in the opening episode what happens to the characters, right? Right? Means that we then infer all of that onto Goblin Slayer's sister. Right? So we don't need, as it were, to see the tragedy. We don't need to see anything more than the things that we are shown. Because we have already seen in the direct opening of the anime what actually happens.
I think we would actually do better off knowing less about his motivation, not him being more of an enigma, much like Doom Slayer, which is often the parallel when it comes to Goblin Slayer. We don't know Doom Slayer's like true origins.
They
or
killed his
like
bunny.
this.
That's his motivation. We know what motivates Doom Slayer.
We actually do. Just the point. So the extended thing with
was in the second game.
No, that's not.
No, what
we
was?
actually do know.
Doom 2?
No, that is in the second game. No, we do know from the rest of the games. We do know who Doom Slayer is. I believe he's actually the grandson of B.J. Blazkowicz.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
From the Wolfenstein games.
Yep.
I think he's actually the great grandson, but regardless,
yes. And so he was the God of Mars, and we know exactly where his story went because it gets explained in the rest of the Doom games. The Doom games, 2016 onwards. We get a whole lore story, and we do know exactly who he is.
I'm trying so hard to keep you guys on the rail. You guys are right. I think honestly, Goblin Slayer would be so much better had we not had the origin. Right.
Sometimes less is more.
Sometimes less is more.
I can picture that. Yes.
All right.
I can picture that being the case.
Anytime a topic comes up, he just kind of goes silent and distant and doesn't reply.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Go on then, Thaylien.
All right.
Give me a good reason for 4.
Let's see. Frieren. It's got to be Frieren as a 4. Because there's no clearer thing in this when you get to actually, not only do you get to know the character before they die a little bit, but you get to know them through the rest of the series. And you're exposed to the memory of them through the entire rest of the series of Frieren with Himmel, and then later even God, his name's gone on my head immediately when I was thinking of it a minute. Yeah, the priest.
Heiter,
that's him. Yeah. So, and to a limited extent, they're dwarf warrior as well. Even though he is still alive, he's left behind. In that same way, he's thought of as he was, not as he is now, throughout the rest of the season.
And yet you can't remember his name.
No, I've just been clear that I can't remember names very well.
Eisen.
But names go out of my head, especially when I'm switching between shows. What's up, Nasuth?
Having still not watched Frieren all the way through, I know I'm awful.
Oh my god! Sorry.
I know. I would say that because of the flashbacks, Himmel doesn't count, but Frieren's master might.
Oh, Flum. Yes.
Yeah? Does that sound right?
No, because Flam dies of natural causes. She isn't murdered. Same with Himmel, actually.
Yeah, but
Himmel dies of natural causes.
It doesn't have to be murder. It has to be the death, just death in general, not necessarily a murder.
Yeah, the death of the character creates the meaning for the main character.
But
and it's killed almost by plot device.
I'd argue that when it comes to Himmel, he dies more of a beautiful corpse than... I'm still going to call it Girlfriend in the Fridge.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he is given that level of respect to begin with.
Yes.
But we also know a hell of a lot more about him. He is Himmel the hero who... you know, went out of his way to save the world, you know, to fight the Demon Lord,
defeat
so on
the
and so
King,
forth.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, like, again, Goblin Slayer's older sister.
Mm-hmm.
I think my deck board's broken. You guys continue. Oh, wait, no, there it goes. Finally.
Yeah. So, the thing I would bring up with Frieren is that in this case, they have fridged the character not by violence or enemy interference, but by plot convenience, plot narrative. As has to be, it is the narrative of the show is that the people that taught her to find meaning in the short term, instead of drifting along through life using her vast potential years as an elf. He had to die for her to realize that. You know, and the journey they go on, the necessary actions they take, it's all a reminder. It's all a narrative piece, specifically because he's dead. So yes, he comes into the beautiful corpse territory from being there in flashbacks for the entire rest of the season. Oh, sorry, I just touched my mic. But they definitely put him in there to cause this drama, this grief, this lingering feeling in Frieren herself.
But I'd argue, like, again, Himmel or Flamma or nearly any of the old characters from Frieren, they're nearly every single one of them are beautiful corpses, primarily because they have more development to them. Again, we see more of Himmel's character in the first episode than we get of or the party. Let's be fair, it's the whole party we see more of than we do with Gloria, right? Than we do with Fumio Fukumachi. And I feel that in and of itself disqualifies them from being, you know, characters that are just shunted into the death state, just a further development of the main character, right? Himmel, Flamma, they all feel like they have more established for them than just being motivation for Frieren to do anything.
Are you saying that because of what we know about them or because of the flashbacks?
No, I'm saying that from when they're introduced. Like, even if we were to go with Flamma, right? You see Flamma, she, for the first time you see her is when she arrives at the elf village after Frieren has defeated the demon that has basically slaughtered the other elves.
Yeah, in a flashback. Right?
Yes, in a flashback, but like she was never alive at any point during the narrative that we're watching. So it's all flashback when it comes to her. Yes. The first time we're introduced to her, and then she starts looking after Frieren, and then she takes on the other demons, and then then she starts training for him. That whole episode gives her more substance than the entirety of what happens to Gloria.
Okay.
Nasuth?
I think the question that you're kind of struggling with between you is, do flashbacks count as narrative development? As developing the character that has been fridged or turned into a beautiful corpse? So can you have a fridged character that becomes a beautiful corpse through flashbacks?
I would argue that yes.
I would also argue yes. But I think with Himmel's case, he was never a fridged character. He was always a beautiful character. Beautiful corpse.
Okay, wait, I think you convinced me on that one.
Oh wait, no, he is doing the right thing. He's doing the con, so he's taking it away from beautiful corpse or from fridged character.
I think you've convinced me on that
one.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's do one last one from me to try and convince you, because it's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that does this.
You've just done Frieren. Don't I get a go?
Yeah, no. Just no. You can. I'm going to do this one more because I've lost this one. You can concede your point on it. Okay.
Loser goes next.
The only one that does this. Only one that does this to who we would consider the antagonist, and that's Castlevania.
Okay. Do you want to jump into that now, or do I get my negative first?
Go on. See if let's see what your negative on that one is, because I suggested it. Let's give you.
You want me to negative on Castlevania?
Negative Nancy.
Do you think you can?
Why is she not a beautiful, or why is she not a character in the fridge?
Okay.
I think you can do it. I think you can actually pull this one off.
I argue that is it Lisa Depeche? Is that her name?
I think so, yeah.
Lisa? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Could I argue that she is not anything more than a fridge girlfriend?
Does she rise to the level of beautiful corpse?
I think she does, but only in season is it shit? Which is the first season where they start off with a flashback.
Yeah, it's the first the season. There's a whole narrative where they actually, where you see them, her and Dracula together in hell, and from that point on, she becomes more of a character.
No. It's not that. There's one of the seasons, not season 1, right? But like one of the later seasons starts where she is tending to like an old woman in her home outside of Wallachia. That's not season 1. Season 1 starts with her turning up at the castle. Trying to get him to teach her or allow her access to his science. But I think it's either season 3 or 4 where Lisa is basically she's being a doctor, and then
it's what got her caught and then burned at the stake, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And I feel that if not season 1 by itself makes her a beautiful corpse. I struggle with season 1 making her a beautiful corpse because this is why I would argue season 1 specifically, because it's not just Dracula that this affects, because it's also Alucard.
Season 2, episode 8, End Times, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that? I could have sworn it was later than that.
So
it's the only one that says it's a flashback. Everything else is
it is technically a flashback.
A cameo.
Anyway, so the most important scene in the entirety of season 1 is Dracula and Alucard in Alucard's childhood basement, childhood bedroom, right? And what, another loud thing, and what leads to that is the statement between the two of them, so where it says, "In your mother's name, I must seek revenge. In my mother's name, I must stop you." Literally, the man seeking revenge for his wife versus the man seeking salvation for his father because of his mother. And the fact that she's so much fridged, as it were, that two people on opposing sides can both use her name for their motivation is the actual driving force for that conflict. It's almost beautiful in the way it's done, I have to say.
No, it wasn't that episode. I don't know what it was. Anyway.
But by that point, we have had the flashback and more of a clarification on who Lisa Depeche was. We have more of a ratification that she is a beautiful corpse and not just the girlfriend in the fridge, right? I'd also like to argue the point that is the girlfriend in the fridge such a fundamental narrative device for a villain as it is for a hero, right? My argument here is that the motivating factor in trying to get a hero to do things is supposed to be something that's well established, but does it matter as much when it comes to a villain? Thaylien.
I'd say it matters more for villains, because for a hero to do good, a death can drive them to make sure that suffering does not happen to other people in the same way it happened to them. A villain would inflict suffering on other people because it happened to them. So it makes it can make a villain more understandable and relatable to the audience, to show that their motivation for what they're doing is because of cruelty that was inflicted on them. What makes them stay a villain is that they can't grow from it. They have to get revenge for it. If you see the difference.
But my argument is, what is the difference between Dracula seeking revenge on the entirety of, I don't know the name of the region.
Humanity.
Right? Sure. Western Europe. What's the difference between that?
He did say humanity.
And Dr. Octopus deciding to create a giant sun in the middle of New York City because Harry Osborn took his money away from him. It's still a matter of revenge either way, but the motivation is completely different.
So the difference is in how understandable the character is, and how justified the audience feels they are in that. Because much like the girlfriend in the fridge for the hero, okay, you can understand that kind of grief of finding that tragedy has happened and growing past it and overcoming the loss, right? But you can just as easily understand not being able to, of being crushed by it, of being so very wronged that you want to seek to wrong others for it. Versus Doc Ock, that's just despair. That's just pure revenge. And the thing that separates it from both like hero and villain is genuinely the genocide. Let's be honest.
I feel like you're
now,
also.
You both want to speak, Nasuth.
Yeah, I feel like you're also giving Vlad a little too much credit here, because you have to remember that to the vampires, humans are food. So without a shining example of a good one there for him, it's easy to dehumanize them into cattle or insects or pests. And what do you do with pests? You exterminate them. Doc Ock doesn't have that excuse necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. But also, it's not only does Dracula want to die, he wants to take the world with him.
True.
So he wants to wipe out humanity and deny all vampires their food.
Yeah.
So that's why ultimately even his other loyal vampires do turn on him. And his two servants, the one doesn't quite understand, the other one is actually fully in on it because he's just as nihilistic. He realizes, yes, I'm a human and I will die as well for Dracula's revenge. But that's the problem, really, isn't it? It's suicidal. Well, Xeno, you've been hanging on for a bit.
Okay, I want to pivot right off the back of this.
Okay.
and slam Evangelion, right?
Okay.
I will have to rely on Nasuth to fill in a lot of blanks. However, I do not think I am wrong in my understanding of this. The whole reason why Gendo Ikari wants to do any of the orange goo crap that he wants to do is because his wife is dead.
Yes. So,
Yes.
technically speaking, there was a different plan, right? And he was part of that plan. But then when Yui died, Yui being his wife and Shinji's mother, he and Futsuya, I can't remember the guy's name. Fuyutsuki concocted a plan to subvert Seele and do their own thing where they achieve human instrumentality, because when you break down all the barriers between everyone, all the souls merge together and he can finally be with Yui again. Yay!
Right. And this is his great villainous plan. However, Yui, nerve scientist, Shinji mom.
Yes.
That's it. That's all
it.
we fucking
That's all
have.
you get. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She's Gendo's world. Shinji doesn't know her. And she disappeared inside an Ava Unit 1, and that's all we know about her.
And her son climbed in her spine several times.
Correction. Wasn't the original series that she got killed by Ava Unit 0? When it went berserk and smashed the control room?
No.
Kind of.
Okay, tell you what.
She was very injured the way she was very
Ava
injured.
1.
So the reason they that they fell in love in the first place was because she was injured by the prototype, and Gendo actually burnt his hands getting her out of there. He cracked open the
that
pod
was
to save
Ray.
her. And that's
He did the same thing to
Ray.
Yui.
He did exactly the same thing with Ray because
It's like poetry,
Ray
they rhyme.
is a clone.
It also depends on if we're talking about Neon Genesis Evangelion or the rebuild of Evangelion, because in the rebuild they had a direct interface, and that's what made her disappear. She went directly into the Ava without a plug, without the sync systems going on, right? And so she just completely dissolved inside and merged with Ava 1. In the series, I think it was much more akin to, there's a point in the series where Shinji actually disappears inside Ava 1, right? All that's left is his clothes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then he eventually comes back. I'm pretty sure the same thing happened to Yui. And that's why but she was never able to come back. Her soul was just merged with it.
I think we'll stick with the movies only because that's probably what you've most recently seen. I haven't finished
I've watched
movies.
the movies so many times now.
And I haven't seen them in probably a couple of decades.
Congratulations.
Right? Ignoring Thaylien for a second. But my whole point is that we have one character who's literally the whole driving force between the extinction of humanity, right? And all we know is that she was Shinji's mum and that she was involved in Nerve. That's it. That's all we know.
Yep. Basically. Oh, and then she was the template for Rey, kind of, but who cares about that? It's not really important. It really has no impact beyond, compared to Shinji's mom and Gendo's wife. And that's barely any impact at all to begin with. So, yeah. Yui, least developed character in Ava. It tried to tell me that Ryoji was a fringed character because of how he dies. But, we see a bunch of Ryoji before he dies. I don't think it's the same.
Okay, but my argument here is girlfriend in the fridge trope, bad, shit.
Yes.
Example, villain can't pull it off.
Exactly.
Go on, Thaylien.
So here's the question. Would getting to know Yui more have made it a better situation?
I'd like to say yes, by leagues.
I'm not sure it would. I think that we would have lost Gendo as this absolutely ridiculous character by having him humanized in that way and seeing his build-up and romance with Yui and the loss that he suffered. I think that having him from the start of the thing being this guy behind the opaque glasses leaning over his desk, just commanding his son to get in the robot, would have been lost if we'd seen any of that build-up.
Which one did we say before? That where less is more?
Yep.
Goblin Slayer.
Less is more in this
Goblin
case.
Slayer, yeah.
Yeah, but that's an argument for not doing the for don't do the girlfriend in the fridge, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you're arguing, don't let us know that's the motivation.
I'm arguing that the little we know about him, that this is all his motivation is better than having more.
But is it better than having less? I'm not trying to be contrarian here. We are.
I know. I'm honestly thinking about this.
What he's proposing is less technically, but it's not none.
I think
it's not none. That's the important thing. I think that what we're doing here is that the argument I'm making is that the little we have is the less, almost none, because we don't even see why he's so desperate to get Ray out of AV Unit 0 until after, when it's this little flashback to him, Yui
when he's
being in the same situation.
Yeah. So, are you arguing that Yui's death is not a girlfriend in the fridge situation?
No. Because we don't find out enough about her to make her a beautiful corpse.
I have confused myself. I apologize. So you are stating she is a girlfriend in the fridge, yes?
Yes.
Cool.
We don't find enough about her, even through flashbacks, to make her a beautiful corpse. We don't have enough meaningful interaction with her. But I think that the fact that she existed and that Gendo's actions are completely inexplicable until you get that tiny motivation behind them makes him a more serious character to deal with, because you don't find his motivation. You can't see why he would flip so suddenly into the thing where he seems to care about something so desperately when before he didn't. You know, there's when he says that Ray will pilot AV Unit 1 instead of Shinji and pulls her out there with literal IV drips still hanging from her arm, and it looks like he doesn't care at all. So without the motivation, but what's the thought?
I feel that with the so little knowledge and information we have as to Gendo's motivations, it is, especially with the series, again, I can't talk about the movies, it is so confusing as to what the hell they are trying to achieve. There is this very straight-laced belief that the series is all about, big nasty monsters are coming out of nowhere, much like the kaiju in Godzilla, and we have to fight them with our own controlled kaiju, which is AV Unit 1. Or just the Avas in general, sorry.
It's hiding as Pacific Rim, basically.
And it's not clear that, Hideki Anno has done a brilliant job in hiding that, Gendo Ikari has this nasty alternate plot.
Goal. Yeah.
Yes. And as such, his motivation is, I feel personally, easily lost again with the series, because you don't find out about Yui, and you don't find out about his motivations, his plans, his machinations, without there being a massive gap between the two. And I honestly didn't put two and two together until like Nasuth bloody explained it to me. And I think that's a failing on the narrative.
I don't believe so. I think this is one of those ones that needs to have these rewatches to be able to understand it.
Technically, it's also revealed pretty heavily in the end of Ava movie. I can't remember if you actually see it in the series.
Yeah.
But there's a point where when the third impact is starting, and they're down in the pit with Lilith, that he has this whole conversation about with an imaginary Yui. And then Ray kills him or something. Somebody kills him.
Yeah, I think it's instrumentality starts in. And he dissolves into
But he doesn't get to... He gets killed before instrumentality starts. So I think he's supposed to... The idea is that he's being denied his reunion with Yui.
That could be the case. Still, I believe that Gendo would be a worse character if you explained Yui more, or if she wasn't there at all.
I think it would be so much better of a character if you actually gave him more of a clear understanding.
Well, if you want to know more about Yui, look no further than Shinji, because all of Yui is inside Shinji, and that's why Gendo hates him.
Oh my god, what?
And it's why he put Shinji back into Yui.
You want to do another round?
Put that thing back where it came from, also help me, dude.
Well, I feel like Kill la Kill, Ryuko's father has about as much as Yui does in terms of development. We know he's Ryuko's father. We know he designed Senketsu, just like we know Yui was involved with the Ava designs and
the scissor blades.
And that's about it. When he was Ragyu's, he was like involved with Ragyu some way.
And he barely has any flashbacks either. Would you say that, Xeno?
You guys are fucking high, right? Like, you get the whole thing of him making nudist beach. You get the whole thing of him actually being on board for humans basically being existing exclusively to be worn for clothing. You get the whole thing where they try to experiment on Satsuki before they experiment on Ryuko. You get the whole thing of him like wanting to take revenge on Ragyo because she just basically, I've killed my second daughter, let's just throw her in the bin, right? You get like the whole motivation. You get you get flashbacks with him fighting.
Flashbacks? How much screen time is it?
He gets like half an episode.
Yeah, half an episode in total.
Right, what does Yui get? Like, Yui gets like No. I'm saying he gets half an episode to fucking fight. Oh shit! What was the bloody seamstress's name?
The fake version of Ryuko.
Yeah.
Is she actually a Yui or something like that?
No, it's. I think it begins with an N. I can't remember. Anyway,
Nui. That's what it was. Nui.
Yeah, she. He has a huge fight with her with the scissor blade. That's why he gets broken in half.
He doesn't. But it lasts a few seconds, that fight.
No, it's massively long. What does Yui get? Yui gets fucking standing in the bloody control room, getting smushed in the wall.
Yeah.
No. We also get to see her going berserk, because everything that Ava 1 does to save Shinji, that's Yui. So Yui gets a lot of screen time.
True. You're just not aware of it, Xena. You're just not seeing it as Yui. You're seeing it as Ava 1. But it is.
Listen to you. Listen.
So, okay. So, I don't think that's enough to turn him into a beautiful corpse.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Fucking
For some
more than
reason,
Himmel got.
For some reason, I've forgotten so much of this show, even though I love it. I've watched it within the last 5 years.
Well, I watched
Apparently,
it within the
I will
last
say.
few months, so
Okay, well, there you go,
that's
yeah.
why it's so fresh on my mind.
Still, this is what he's doing instead of properly reviewing stuff for Kanpai Cast, guys. He's just rewatching old shows constantly.
Hold on. I
That's why
fucking
he
give
drops.
good reviews.
That's why he drops so many shows.
That's because so many shows are shit.
I stick
Anyway.
with the shit ones for you guys, for you, the audience.
Ishin Matoi. So you actually acknowledge that they're shit. Ishin Matoi is
regularly.
100% a beautiful corpse.
If everything that Xeno says is correct about it, which I have no reason to doubt him on that, I think I'm prone to agree.
I can't deny what he's saying, but at the same time, I don't think it's enough. I can't deny that he gets more screen time than many of the other.
Maybe the fact that his screen time is so non-memorable can play into it.
I would actually argue that so much happens in Kill la Kill. It is so hard to remember what happens because there's typically what you would have in one season of a standard stereotypical shonen is the first 5 minutes of Kill la Kill, right? It's they cram so much in.
No, again, I think he's just used differently in this particular context. I think that the scenes he's in are not designed to make him more understandable as a character. They're just designed to show how things got there. He stays as a plot device for the show, and at no point does Ryoko herself. I don't think Ryoko herself has informed of any of this.
It's just
so for the character motivation.
I want to turn that into a meme now.
If you see what I mean, I don't think that I think his thing doesn't characterize him any more in the context of Ryoko to make him into her beautiful corpse.
I disagree. To me, this is the exact point I had with Fumio Fukumachi, right? With Fumio, all you knew is he was Shinji's dad, right? You knew that Shinji had his dad for, I think it's 16 years of his life. You know that he was grown up and raised.
You're saying Shinji. You mean Sho.
Sho. Sorry, I meant Sho. Sorry, my bad. You know that Sho was raised by Fumio for 16 years of his life. That he was a single dad for I don't know how many, probably 10 years. And you understand that all these things happened off screen. Right? But it doesn't make the character as a compassionate motivation for the viewers as Ishin Matoi, because even though you know Ryuko is living with Ishin for God knows how many years, the fact that they end up becoming estranged because she goes through a rebellious phase and she ends up living at a boarding school, the fact that she then is summoned to come home and then basically finds the house on fire and he is dead, right? You actually get to see that scene, right? In a flashback between her and her father where he is dying, right? And he gives her the scissor blade, right? And he tells her, find the other half of the scissor blade. You see everything that he goes through in the experimentation of not only Ryuko but also Satsuki. You see all this stuff, actually visually see it, yes, as flashbacks, but the series starts with him already dead, right?
Well, I just don't agree that I think that his the scenes we see beyond the death scene with Ryuko, which is her motivation and puts him firmly into the fridge character at the start of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree that the other scenes we see of him are enough to turn him into a sympathetic enough character or a meaningful enough character to the story beats in an emotional way. He's more of a mechanical way. I believe that this is the history rather than this is why we should understand why she's so upset.
But that's exactly the same thing for Himmel and Frieren.
Nope. With Himmel and Frieren, it's all to understand why Frieren acts the way she acts. It's more of why she's emotional about it. It's her motivation. The scenes we see, apart from his death scene, are not any more motivation for Ryuko. They're not in any way, they're related to her, but it's just the history. They don't actually act as making him more of a symbol to her than he already was. Every single time we flash back to Himmel, it makes him more meaningful to us, the audience, and to the emotional storytelling. Every time you flash back to Ishin, it's just, oh, this is how we got here.
Now,
I understand it's a fine difference.
I think I'm leaning on Xeno's side on this one. You've done a good job defending it. I don't
you
filled your role properly.
Point, but I don't concede the point, but I understand the point.
Yeah.
Cool. Right.
Shall we go over some honorable mentions before we move on?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
like JoJo's.
Well, we had.
I was going to say JoJo's. I'd argue that Jotaro Kujo being air quotes fridged for Jolene only works. Actually, I kind of argue he might be more of a beautiful corpse. He is the confusing one, right?
Yeah.
Because if you haven't watched part 3, right, you'd be like, who the fuck is this guy, right? But if you have watched 3, then you're like, this means so much more to the grand scheme of 6. He just like most of JoJo, that JoJo breaks the mold.
Yeah. We had Julia from Cowboy Bebop, which technically not dead.
Yes.
But everyone thinks she
believed
is.
To be.
Yes.
Yes, right up until the end.
Did Spike think she was dead?
Yeah.
He believed it, but then he started seeing signs that made him doubt himself. And that's why he went looking.
I don't remember this at all.
It wasn't directly quoted. It was implied by the way that occasionally he would just go to these places that he used to go to, like the bar that he met her at for the first time.
On Earth? No, wait. I don't know which planet it was.
One of the other planets. There's a bar that he went to, it's Jazz Bar, where it's the first time that she sat down next to him.
When he was in the mafia?
And it's the same. Yes. And it's the first time he met her. And so he went back to that bar, and he didn't find anything there. It was just something that happened in the episode. But it then ties into the overall search and things later on.
That's right at the end, isn't it?
It is right at the end. It's part of the end, because it's only at the end when he actually starts believing that she might still be alive.
No,
when he starts seeing signs about Vicious and everything else.
No, because I thought like halfway through the series with the first 2-parter that like was it Gray? I can't remember what the name of the guy was, but like the saxophone player, he was like, yeah, I met Julia. And Spike goes, what? You met Julia? What? And then that's when they would Spike and Vicious meet up again for the first time and fight it out.
So yes,
right?
But it's halfway through the series, but he only starts looking for her towards the end. He only starts believing that after that.
I don't remember.
He thought she was dead in the first place.
I don't remember.
Zeno doesn't watch the series. He only watches the movie.
No, so I mean, it's a while since I watched. There is.
Tell me why ReZero is on the list. Sorry, Mushoku Tensei is on the list.
Oh, Zenith. Technically, again,
Alright.
not dead, but she might as well be.
No.
So to clarify, basically, a large motivation for Rudy to go find all the others is like he doesn't know that
His
everyone's
family's
gone
even alive.
missing
Yeah.
until he encounters Paul
Yes.
halfway through core 2 of season 1.
Yeah, when he
And
comes
no
back
one-
from the Demon Continent and gets there.
Yeah, and then no one knows that Rudy, because he was at the epicenter of the whole thing, doesn't know that everyone's missing. And he thought it was just limited to him, Eris, and Ghislaine, right? They didn't even know what Ghislaine was. And then, so the whole thing of like Zenith being like the last one to try and find, it's a huge motivating factor for them to actually go and find. But again, at the same time, you don't really know what's happened to her. She could, be dead, or she could be just somewhere so far away and remote that they can't readily get to her.
Yeah, and
So-
it is a big plot point. I'll be with you there. But I think, I don't
not
think Rudy did not
Mushoku
believe
Tensei.
that Zenith was dead until he met up with Paul.
Not sure why that's happened. What did you click? Did you click on something?
I did click Mushoku Tensei.
Anyway, so
Oh look.
oh dear, that's not it.
Anyway,
either.
doesn't really matter. We're wrapping
I don't believe that Rudy knew that, even believed that Zenith was dead or missing until he met up with Paul.
It's literally what I said.
Yeah, so for the entire Demon Continent arc, she wasn't a beautiful corpse or a frigid character.
But I would argue everything post that until they find her, she is.
Yes, technically though, so would everybody else be, except that he does manage to find them, and and so it gives him hope that she's alive.
But
Because he wouldn't try to find her if she was dead. If he
the
believed she
whole
was dead.
the whole point of the motivation is that they do find out, right? So it's like, Carl Rayner doesn't know his girlfriend's dead until he opens the fridge, right? So
We also
until
had no reason to suspect she might be until he opened the fridge.
yeah, exactly. So it what's it called?
So
there was
if
no
there'd been
reason
an
to
entire
suspect.
arc built up around his girlfriend being missing in the first place, I'd be with you on that one.
Right, but my point is that there was no reason for Rudy to think anything had happened to anyone else until Paul had actually told him.
Yes, but there's also no reason to think she was actually necessarily dead until he found her dead.
Yeah, but she might as well be
Just
now.
that she might be. Yeah, still. My point being that even when she was missing, she wasn't a corpse in anybody's mind. She was just missing.
Not in Paul's mind. Paul didn't know.
Paul just knows she's missing. Didn't know she was dead or
This is
alive.
what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do.
Anyway, this is a show that we shouldn't be getting into any further.
Paul.
How about Naruto Shippuden? I could see why this one's technically on the list.
I don't remember which character
you-
I suggested, and since I don't watch Naruto, I don't know.
So, right. You're the only one that knows this,
Yeah.
Thaylien.
I know. So this one is more of a beautiful corpse thing because they have the entirety of Naruto all the way through Naruto Shippuden to build up who this character is. Then he dies heroically in fighting one of the biggest enemies they fight before the end of the series of Naruto Shippuden, and leaves them a message on how to defeat him, or the key. What ends up being the key to defeating him. And he's given a very big send-off. He's given a face on the big wall of Mount Rushmore of the Leaf Village. He's very much celebrated by everyone that knew him, and even by people that didn't, who just knew what he'd done. So I wouldn't call this a fridge character either. What else on our
I would say
honourable mentions?
God, I'm looking right at her name.
Riko's mom.
Because I always keep on saying no, Kirisu. It's not
Oh.
Kirisu.
I think it's Kurisu.
Kurisu, that's it. Kurisu Makase. Like, I would argue she is a beautiful corpse because they go back in time. Okarun goes back in time. God knows how. Okabe? Shit, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Okabe.
Hyoin Kyoma. He goes back in time. God knows how many times to prevent her death. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, like, we feel the motivation behind doing that only because she is an established character. You know, we feel her death and we are rooting for him to go back in time and fix it.
Because he is mad scientist. That's so cool.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
I think Gurren Lagann, we had both Kamina's dad and Kamina.
I don't
Kamina's
think
dad. Kamina's dad, we know like nothing about. Definitely a fridge character. Kamina, probably a beautiful corpse.
No, but I argue it's not a fridge. Kamina's dad is not a fridge character because Kamina's motivation does not change in any way, shape, or form.
No, Kamina's motivation is just Simon and the others.
But I would say it does affect his character.
Yeah,
instead of living to find his dad, now he's living to help everyone.
Yeah, I don't think it's his motivation in that sense.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
So, shall we... I think let's wrap this one up and move on. Fridge characters, sometimes useful when it adds to the mystery of the character, but largely not very well done. Mm-hmm. To become the proper trope, which is the beautiful corpse, you need character development, which is inherently doing it right, in most of our opinions, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Girlfriend in the fridge is a shit trope. Shouldn't exist. Tell me more about Fumio. Right.
I'll put you in the fridge.
Oh my god. Should we move on to the supporter questions? Unless you have anything you want to add?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Right. Drool asks, if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Please take a second to hit those like and subscribe buttons on YouTube. So YouTube recommends our next or previous videos to you. Drool also asks, do you think perhaps a traded Pokemon getting a permanent experience boost could be the seed idea of isekai characters getting a special power when they get transferred to another world, or is there some deeper cultural concept there, or is it just coincidence? We
do actually know the origin of why isekai characters get power boosts and things, because the earliest concept of it was John Carter of Mars. Where the reason he became stronger. It's one of the earliest books written that contains this idea of getting sent to another world and getting stronger. And the reason for it is that on
less
gravity, and so the calibration was wrong when he got projected to Mars. So he ended up being stronger than he should be, instead of fitting in with the natives.
1917?
Yeah, not surprising.
Wow, okay.
You were thinking of the movie, weren't you?
Oh, God, no.
He probably thought it was in the 60s.
So, yeah,
I was thinking like...
Right back.
Yeah.
It is right back. So, it's one of the earliest known examples of it, of that getting more powerful when you go to another world. And, that's kind of carried over into a lot of characters since.
I wonder how easy it would be to draw that line back. But anyway. I'd also say about the transferring thing in Pokemon, I think that only exists in the anime because it existed within video games. And the video game came out before the vast majority of the anime.
And they wanted to give you a reason to, a motivation to trade with your friends. So that you would buy the link.
It also was relatively unknown that some Pokemon only evolved when you traded them to somebody else.
True.
Yep.
True.
So,
Nasuth number 8. When can we expect an anime about a Pokemon getting traded, but framed as an isekai? Never.
2027.
Ask Nintendo.
Yay!
Rickius Van Moozle de Rolo the 7th asks, since at least 3 Pokemon's Henty already exist, at least. Clearly you've not. We can't.
Okay, you're not wrong. There are at least 3.
At least 3.
Okay. How long until a Pokemon game based on one of those specific anime Power World mods don't count? Wait, how?
Until we get it.
An official one? Never.
Yeah.
Never. An anime based off one of the non-canon adventures of Pokemon. I don't think we'll get one, because the Pokemon company would come down on that one quite hard.
Plus, Nintendo would be like, we can't sell this smut on Nintendo. That's Nintendo.
There's probably a ROM hack somewhere.
Bayonetta.
Right. Follow-up question. How long until MasterCard forces Steam to remove it from their platform?
Immediately.
2 months ago.
Oh my god. Have you heard the... Sorry, can we tangent ever so slightly? Have you heard the latest that the Online Safety Act is actually impacting Steam? Right?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. Have you heard how Steam's going to solve it?
No.
If you have a credit card, that counts.
Nice.
Because you have to be 18 to have a credit card.
Right, of course.
What's the small problem there?
Not everyone has a credit card?
Not everyone has credit
The
cards.
vast majority of the UK community, citizens, do not have
Use
credit
debit.
cards. They use debit cards. It's like,
Yes.
come on.
And you can have a debit card when you're under 18, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Have you heard that 4chan is suing the UK government for it?
Suing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alongside, because it's actually, they are an American company, or an American-based thing, with all the rights of US citizens, and so forcing their American citizens to reveal their data for the UK, and having the UK's Online Safety Act apply to them is inherently infringing on American civil rights.
True.
As far as I understood it, the UK were trying to sue 4chan, and 4chan said, good luck trying to pull that off. We're in the US.
So they're countersuing right now. They're countersuing.
Well, how are they going to countersue without having any representation within the UK?
International courts.
That's exactly. International courts exist, for exactly that reason, especially for companies.
We're looking this up now.
Sues UK regulator
3 days ago.
US over free speech. Yep, there you go. August 28th, from Reuters, US Internet Forums, 4chan, and Q Forums have filed a legal case in the United States against Britain's media regulator, Ofcom, saying its enforcement of the country's online state safety law violates Americans' rights to freedom of speech. There you go.
Exactly.
It may not go anywhere, but at least they're.
Anyway, let's move on to the comments. Right. So first of all, we have the comments from the news. Google says news. Oh wow! Sorry to hear the first story hits close to home, Nasuth.
Yeah.
I think the princess's power suit from a droid from the Star Wars story sounds dumb. Yep. But that's just me and Xeno. A One Piece Happy Meal was cancelled. Didn't we hear about the Pokemon Happy Meal getting cancelled last week? Well, yes, but it had actually launched first.
Yes.
So
this one was preemptive.
The Delicious in Dungeon.
Ruining it.
The Delicious in Dungeon exhibition sounds pretty cool. Yep. Cool. Thanks for the news, guys. Stronger Shell says news. Don't be insulted, but Raina is quickly becoming my favorite cast member.
Yeah, that's fine. We're not insulted. It's just the truth.
She's certainly more entertaining than me.
Holy crap, WC in the title meant week commencing this whole time. Wait, did you really put Water Closet in the bloody title of the episodes?
Yes.
No, he put Wink commencing.
I put Winky cameo.
Moving on to
World
the
categories.
Casts comments. Stromba Shell says, Nasuth, bro, you interrupted Thaylien 2.5 minutes in. Let the man do the intro.
This is fun. I like it. Xeno's the one that doesn't.
I made it to the end, and all I got was this anime shirt. I mean, if people are
Nice.
interested, I mean, you know.
Show us the merch.
No gold stars for not interrupting this week. Yeah, I know, right?
Hopefully this week will be a little better.
Love the memes. It kind of went off the rails towards the end. Love the memes this week. Kanpai. Zrugel says, Kanpai, well, this is out early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did you blame me?
Because it's funny.
Dickhead.
Xeno's always wrong.
I had literally fucked around with Tiamat the day he did this, the day he threw me under the bus, and I genuinely thought I fucking broke something until I realized, wait a second, this has to be scheduled on YouTube's end, not on fucking Tiamat's. You fucking dickhead. Right.
Yeah, I just scheduled it wrong. I don't know what happened.
I don't mind at all if you guys eat. To me, it makes the stream feel more relaxing, like a discussion among friends. Having said that, I hate mukbang videos.
Me too.
So don't talk with your mouth full, but nibble is fine. An episode about clever heroes, good topic. I would have added Konosuba as well.
I think that was on our list, but we just didn't get to it. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I want to add another, but I can't think of many in the way you've described tricksters. I want to say that Lelouch from Code Geass, maybe one or both the characters from Inspector. I'd say...
the girl, definitely.
The girl, yeah.
Yeah.
Though they do what they do seemingly because of duty, they do seem to enjoy it. I don't know what happened at 1:34 and 50 seconds, but yes, it did make it.
That.
It did make it this. I did make it this far. To be honest, I started scrolling X,
Twitter, formerly known as Twitter,
during the in the weeds part. But it was good background listing.
Yeah, I timestamped a couple of places where we're back in the weeds again.
Okay. As for who I think is more right, I don't believe either Xeno or Thaylien is wrong per se.
But Nasuth
arguing
I get it.
But arguing about terminology for describing characters isn't as fun as talking about characters themselves. But again, good listen. I mean, to be fair, like just before we started recording this, we were talking about like Harlequins and Jesters, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck the difference is, and then we didn't actually coordinate this episode. I will endeavor to make shorter support questions, because Xeno is a good Xeno. That is true.
Don't tell him that,
those
go to his
memes were
head.
great. Poor Xeno can't even outro without interruptions. Worry about it. Right.
Yeah.
Now, with all that said and done, it is time for the memes.
Everyone loves the memes.
Part of the show.
You meme, I meme, we all meme for ice meme. All our memes tend to come from Reddit. Not always, but most of them. We also take up to 6 viewer memes a week, which you can come to our Discord and drop in the specific channel specifically for viewer submissions.
Yeah.
I don't know how many.
All 6 this week.
Yeah, I don't know how many we actually had because we don't look at them ahead of time. But we at least have 6.
7, I think.
Oh well. Whatever the 7th was, I'm sorry. Maybe we can get it to it next week. If that channel doesn't get cleared out.
We'll put it in the description anyway, where it goes. We'll archive it on our site for you guys.
Can we do that?
Commit me to more work, thanks. Great. We
You're supposed to be doing it all the time.
I don't fucking get the images!
Right. Anyway, we do have 6 viewer memes this week. Let's go ahead and get into them. I see Thaylien also has a spicy meme coming up.
Kirby just swallowed you. What ability did he get?
Depression.
British.
God damn it, Thaylien stole mine.
With me, it would be cooking.
The power of
It's one of my best
Cheetos.
abilities.
Right.
Ooh, spicy orange dust everybody. What the?
The American Ekiban, so sugoi, so yeehaw. White cheddar
I wanna
popcorn and
throw
mac
up.
and cheese
Looking
and
at-
Coca-Cola.
I wanna throw up. That's disgusting.
White cheddar popcorn is great. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but the fucking mac and cheese as well. How much fucking dairy do you need in your fucking diet? Christ.
So much.
Oh, no. Just looking at that makes me want to have a shit.
Maybe you want to be adapted, bad animation and cut content, and it turns out to be just a cake. It looks like a cat.
Oh no!
Oh.
Yeah.
Badge. When they post a meme, you've already seen Kanpai Cast. You're not
True.
wrong.
Kanpai Cast.
Especially me. I do that all the time.
That's actually fucking brilliant. I love that.
Look, Pikachu, a moo, a his, a.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And the last viewer meme.
When no one
When
notices,
no one notices your shit post, but you're still confident that it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cell does have some good ego strength. Anyway, my memes start off with a video.
Oh god, if this is going to be a bloody another God of War, I swear to Christ.
God, I don't know what this is, but
Zeus, your son has been
Oh my god! That's amazing.
Yes, I knew it was the right one.
That is amazing. I am
Yep.
truly impressed.
yep.
Probably
Yep.
AI generated, but damn.
Good subversion of the meme.
Yep.
Number 2, me in the past with money to spend on manga. Me now, money to survive.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Number 3, Fern, Scientist Fern, Sendai Fern, Schoolgirl Fern, Killer Fern, Yandere Fern, and Gundam Meister Fern.
Okay, I just want to point out, I think Killer Fern is actually from a Gamiga Kill.
Okay.
The other way around. A Kamiga kill.
A Kamiga Kill, sorry. I can't truly remember, though.
Oh, well.
Gundam Meister Fern is
Yeah,
correct.
she's the
Let
one
us
with the
know
giant scissors.
Let us know in the comments if you know who these people are. Number 4, you watch Clannad and feel sad, and other sad animes to feel empathy. I marathon sad animes to fry my cortisol receptors to feel hollow and void of future emotional baggage. We are not the same.
Oof.
Well, that's one way to do it.
When you hear your mother-in-law in the shower, that voice, is that you, songstress of hell?
Oh my god.
And Icon fans, when you ask them if they find characters attractive, the law requires that I answer no. Anyone who does should be put in jail.
It really does.
Oh god.
All right, on to Thaylien. If you don't know what Icon is, go watch Notice Me Senpai.
So,
Suddenly, it all
Oh
makes sense.
no.
yep.
Oh, Tay-Tay. Top 3 Yuri of all time.
What the fuck?
Oh my
God, I'm
god.
not doing this. There's no freaking way I'll be a lover unless and Yuri himself.
From Command and Conquer.
Command and
Hitler
Conquer.
2. Yuri's Revenge.
Breathe in. Hello, I am the hero's father. I am sorry for the trouble my stupid son has caused. I'm going on a journey to
this
beat up
one.
my son who has abandoned his child and fiancé and is doing whatever he wants out there. Even if he apologizes now, it's already too late. Boy.
Yep. That's the one I
Practice
keep
that one.
referencing, Nasuth.
I know.
And
I know. What the fuck?
My dear friend Mononoke.
Holy shit. And then
That
your
was a
last
thing.
one. Oh no, this is not your last one.
Kalos isn't big enough for 2 super fighting types. Oh, you're a fighting type. Just not a super one. Oh yeah? And what's the difference? Presentation! It's Mega Howliture. Lucha!
And
And
Thalien's
this
last one, which
video-
is spicy.
Slightly spicy, but not very spicy.
All right, we'll see. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Actually, Xeno will probably be the judge of that.
Here's some Uma stuff. Oh my god, wait, that looks so fucking good. Jesus Christ, damn, she's big as. Damn, she's taking up the entire fucking mat, man. God damn, look at her cap. Holy lag. Akira-san black. Look at all gold shit being a dumbass over here. Wait, no, North Korea. Check the capital. Wait, what is the capital of North Korea? I feel like I'm about to see some out-of-pocket shit. Pyongyang. Okay. The capital of North Korea, chat. What the fuck is Buck Shin doing in there? Why is she leading North Korea right now?
I see. I see.
I'll just hold on that one.
I see.
Okay.
Right. Xeno is also starting off with some video memes.
Rent-A-Girlfriend fans in delusion that their simp/cuckold story is peak.
Oh dear.
Yep.
That is 2 levels of meme.
Correct.
I appreciate it.
You're like Igami's sister trying to do her homework.
Yes. Oh dear.
Number 3. Men choose anime over Disney. Disney lost men to anime. The chickens come home to roost. Ain't that a bitch?
And that's why Disney is now buying the anime.
That's why they're not doing any more live action remakes. Uh-oh.
Kind of obvious, but...
That will never
Yes.
not be funny though.
Yep. So this is a comparison of the anime versus the manga. And like literally, you know, you have the anime, which is the whole like feet shot and everything, and then like literally it's just 2 panels for the manga.
My favourite, a jug that melts clothes.
Yep.
Oh dear. And lastly,
I miss you. I missed.
I missed. You can see the hole in the window, yeah.
oh fuck. All right.
Right.
That's the wrong kind of aura farming.
God. Right, so that is it for the memes this week. And that's it for the show. Right, well, I'm going to say thank you very much, everyone, for watching and or listening. And now it's time to bottoms up.
Kanpai.